from Abuja.
Hello, thank you for being a part of our show. I appreciate you. I'm Magnus Packle, and this is Magnus Packle GVA. As you know, it's all about how we can raise the level of living. That's what it's all about. In view today, Asari On Nigeria. We bring a discussion with Alhaji Mujahid Asari Dokubo on recent political and security trends in Nigeria. Asari Dokubo loves Nigeria, but wants more autonomy and self-determination for his constituent parts. But before that, in our hidden economics, the economics of electoral inversion, that is, the economics of winning where you are not expected to win. But up next, we bring you some business and development indicators in our quick view. That's coming right up. That's coming right up. The strong and steady economic growth across Africa has led to improved performance in trade over the past 10 years. In this connection, which of the following African countries has the highest amount of imports in US dollars per capita? South Africa, Algeria, Nigeria, and Angola. Which of the following African countries has the highest amount of exports in US dollars per capita? Angola, Tunisia, Algeria, and South Africa. Still in view, our discussion with Alhaji Asari Dokubo on Nigeria. But up next in our hidden economics, the economics of electoral inversion. Ordinarily, an election inversion occurs when the candidate or party that wins the most votes from an electorate fails to win the most electoral votes or parliamentary seats, and therefore loses the election. In the year 2000, during the US presidential election, then Vice President Al Gore got 50.27% of the votes, but only received 267 electoral votes, against 271 that then Governor George W. Bush received to be declared President of the United States. In much of Africa, there is a type of electoral inversion that occurs when a candidate wins an election whereby most pre-election indications he should never have won. Typically, he wins as a result of two factors. One, the presence of witchcraft. Yes, that is political witchcraft. And two, the use of political rainmakers. Political witchcraft, as I have defined it, exists when power is exercised without legal authority and at the expense of the well-being of the people of our society. Politicians, incumbents or challengers, sometimes use every force or power at their disposal to win elections in what is often described as winning at all costs. The economics in this situation involves costs in the commitment and often loss of human and material resources that could have been used for more productive activities. When a politician engages in undesirable activities, which are aimed at illegally achieving an electoral victory, he or she is committing political witchcraft. The costs are social, but the benefits are personal, and only to the political perpetrator and his or her cronies. In Africa, especially in Nigeria, an honest high-performance political rainmaker can actually make it rain or stop it from raining. That is, they can make you win or stop your opponent from winning. The economics of using a rainmaker for electoral inversion is straightforward. The costs and benefits are more symmetrical and social, as the costs and benefits are shared across society. This is in contrast to the asymmetrical costs and benefits of political witchcraft, where the costs are borne mostly by society, while the benefits are enjoyed typically just by the perpetrator and his cronies. If you're looking for an electoral inversion, it is a good thing if you will employ political rainmakers and not political witchcraft. Our hidden economics for you. Before we start our discussion in view, here are our quick view answers. South Africa is the African country with the highest amount of imports in US dollars per capita. Angola is the African country with the highest amount of exports in US dollars per capita. To contact us, please see our information displayed on the screen. Formerly known as Milford Dokubo Goodhead Jr., Alhaji Mujahid Asari Dokubo is typically just referred to as Asari. He is a major force and political figure in the Niger Delta and now also across Nigeria. He was president of the Ijaw Youth Council and later founded the Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force, which evolved into one of the most prominent militant groups in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. Asari was born into a very successful and educated middle-class Christian family. He later converted to Islam. He quit law school at the University of Calabar just before graduation, and later also quit on his degree at the Rivers State University of Science and Technology for reasons similar to those when he quit from Calabar. With Asari, the Ijaw Youth Council, IYC, issued the Kayama Declaration, expressing long-held Ijaw concerns about the loss of control of their homeland and their own lives to the Nigerian state and oil companies operating in the region. The declaration and a letter addressed to oil companies called on them to suspend operations and withdraw from Ijaw territory. The IYC pledged to struggle peacefully for freedom, self-determination, and ecological justice. We were pleased to have Asari in our Magoni studios to discuss his concerns and hopes for Nigeria. Please join me in my discussion with Alhaji Mujahid Asari Dokubo. Okay, Alhaji, thank you so very much for being in our Magoni studios.
Thank you for the invite.
Yes, and as we want to go straight to the point here and just ask the question to you that do Nigerians really know the real Alhaji Mujahid Asari Dokubo?
I'm not really bothered about opinion formed about me. My lives, my activities are in black and white, and anybody can open the pages and read them. But if people choose to form opinions, then there's nothing I can do. I can punish them for having such opinion about me. I was born Melford Dokubo Goodhead Jr. to Honorable Justice Melford Goodhead Sr. And I had a very sound upbringing. I lived with my grandmother, and who at that time would say I traveled widely. And because I lost my mom very early in my life, and then when my dad returned from Northeastern State as a state consul after its youth service, and joined the Rivers State Ministry of Justice, I lived with my father. I attended Tanchi School. I went to Baptist High School. I went to university.
The best high school in the world, I might say.
I
went to Baptist High School.
Oh, yes. I never knew. So I was at Baptist High School. From Baptist High School, I proceeded to University of Calabar. I became a student union activist. I was president of National Union of Rivers State Students. I was also president, a lot of people will be shocked. I was also president of Baptist Student Fellowship. And so in 1988, 17th of September, I converted to Islam.
1988, okay.
Yes, 17th of September. Okay. I'll be 26 years this year as a Muslim. And then I'm 50 now. I was 50 on the 1st of June. So I didn't finish my law program. I left my law program in the first semester of my fourth year. My father was desirous.
Was that the University of Calabar?
Yes,
okay.
At the University of Calabar. Okay. My dad was desirous of me becoming a lawyer at all costs as the first son. So I had to go to Rivers State University of Science and Technology again to start. And when I couldn't make it, I just gave up.
What do you see? What do you offer to Nigeria today? Where do you stand looking at this entity we call Nigeria and the progress of it?
Every colonial contraption, as I call Nigeria, has so many imperfections.
You call Nigeria a contraption?
Yes, okay. Because people from diverse backgrounds, religions, cultural, language, geographical, were brought together. And it is difficult for these people to fuse. Because if you go to Europe, you have the Germans, exclusively a German entity. Germany, you have Austria, you have Germans there, you have Hungary, you have German-speaking people. Yeah. You look at how difficult it is to produce a prime minister some years ago in Belgium. It was very difficult because you have to bring together all the conflicting opinions and trends in a country. And it would have been easier if we had all been apart. Okay. And we can unite to form like what we have United Arab Emirates. Different emirates coming together, choosing, say we want to cooperate, collaborate in military, economy, in custom, etc. We would have done that. Then there wouldn't have been any problem of Boko Haram. There wouldn't have been.
Is that what you were looking at when you were president of the Ijaw Youth Council? It is said that you called for self-determination, but within a Nigerian context. Is it similar or that's not true?
No. You see, there were different currents in the Ijaw struggle. And the preponderant opinion was the people who feel that they want to remain within Nigeria and self-determination within Nigeria. I don't know what that means. Kwame Nkrumah said, seek ye first the political kingdom, and all other things will be added unto you. Our people were feeling seedy. They want to please other people. They want to be diplomatic. They want to be accommodative. And now, people, when I was in IYC, the motto was self-determination and resource control by any means necessary.
Necessary. That's
yes.
It.
By any means necessary. Yes. I started that. Today, the IYC had changed. They are no longer using that slogan. They say it is too combative, and so they are not going to use. My belief is very clear, that one gunshot is more valuable, is worthier than 1,000 years of sermonization, of negotiation and dialogue. Because when the enemy comes, like what one of the scriptures said, when the enemy shall come like a flood against you, a barrier, a standard will be lifted up against him. There must be, for every action, it's natural, there must be equal and opposite reaction.
But wouldn't that happen to the one gunshot leading to several other gunshots?
No. Yes, but the enemy know that you have the capacity. You have the capacity to react. You have the capacity to defend yourself. Because like Malcolm X said, if you don't bend your back, brother, nobody is going to ride on your back. Before somebody will ride on your back, you have to bend. So if you don't bend, nobody is going to ride on your back. Having said that, if somebody sit in Abuja and signed pieces of papers and say, go to Bite and to take oil, 1, 2, 3 is their own. It's in Abuja. He does not even know where Bite is. And he signs again to another person. Go to Soku, take Soku field 1, 2, 3 on the pieces of paper. The man had not been to Soku. The man signing had not been to Soku. What gives him the right to do so? Because he feels that, I don't care. They can't do anything. If they do anything, we'll treat them the Odi way. If they do anything, we'll treat them the Ogoni way. If they do anything, we treat them the Baramatu way. We treat them the Odiama way. We treat them the Choba way. So when you have that sort of person who feels that is omnipotent, is all powerful, and he can do anything.
So for people who don't know, these are ways of suppressing the people.
Yes. So when you suppress people, so for Nigeria, how I look at Nigeria is that for Nigeria to move forward, we have to convocate a sovereign national conference. Number one.
Is that what we just did?
No. We did a conference.
Okay.
We sat down. It's commendable that we sat down and we talked. So we have to convocate a sovereign national conference where the nations that were forcefully, the British know, they signed treaties with this nation that were forcefully dispossessed of their independence to sit down and talk. And it should have sovereign power, and the decision arising thereof should be subjected to a plebiscite. Now, having said that, if we don't want that, let us go to pre-1963.
Before we became a republic.
Yes, pre-1963, we have 4 constitutions. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Constitution of the Eastern Region, the Constitution of the Western Region, and the Constitution of the Northern Region. Let us start from there. Because we make a lie. When you open the Constitution, the preamble to the Constitution says, we, the people of Nigeria, having decided make law. It's a lie. It's a fraud. No Nigerians sat down make law. This 1999 Constitution, which we're operating, was signed into law by one Abdul Salam Abubakar with some few people who concocted it. We genuinely want to live together. We genuinely want to know the opinion of the people. Let us go back to pre-1963. If we go to pre-1963, we have 4 constitutions. Then the Eastern region can go. The Igbos, the Ogonis, the Bibios, the Anangs, the Efiks, the Ijaws, the Bekwaras.
500 groups coming.
No. We are talking about now regions.
Okay. But then can we possibly go back? Can we rewind back to that time? What about all the states? But we have not made. We have not. The states that we have? These states were not created by the people. These are Bantustans. In South Africa, it happened. It is not happening here for the first time. It's because we refuse to accept to do the right thing. In South Africa, the operators of apartheid decided to create Bantustans, and they did. And when the power of the people came, where did the Bantustans go to? They vanished because they were not real. They were artificial. They were foisted on the people. So who will rewind this thing? Does the president?
It is the will of the people.
It is yes. Dissolve the states.
This is more peaceful approach.
Okay.
It is the will of the people that look. We don't want to continue. Today we hear that Goza is occupied, Damboa is occupied, people are killing people, people are saying bamboos, monkeys, chickens will be soaked in blood on the street in 2015, etc., etc., etc. We don't want this again. You don't want to die. I don't want to die. I'm 50 years old. I have 20 children. I don't want to die. I want to look at my children, see them grow. I want to love them. I want to carry them. I want to kiss them. I want to play with them. So I want peace. You are 70-something years. You have been former head of state. You have been this. You have gotten, you have acquired. No. There are several head of state who are 70-something.
Okay.
So
Right.
they have acquired a lot of wealth. They are enjoying it.
Yeah.
All that, we'll forgive it. Now, let us go back genuinely. Let us make genuine peace.
All right. Let me ask a question. Does controversy look for you, or do you look for controversy? Nigeria is the hope of Africa. Nigeria also has to be the hope of Nigerians. It will be a grievous and calamitous tragedy for Nigeria to fail and break apart. Now, nobody should just say that this will not be our portion, because it can be our portion if we continue with sectional or regional unreasonableness. In the national anthem, we say, "Arise, O compatriots." Nigerians call obey. A compatriot is someone from the same country as someone else, or someone from the same group. Therefore, Nigerians must see themselves as a people belonging to the same group. They may have various backgrounds, but they as Nigerians are committed to a call to become great through unity in diversity. What is needed most in Nigeria today is strong economic growth, driven collectively by a people that are committed to sharing equitably in the burden they carry and from the proceeds of their productivity. This is what will raise the level of living and the quality of life for all Nigerians. Equitable and mass participation in the economic development process, what people now call inclusive growth, is what we need. Let us be ready to appreciate that which is good, no matter what prism we look through. The strong, sustained economic growth since 1999 shows that our leadership has been doing a pretty good job. The ability of President Jonathan to contain the conflict in the country should also be commended, because it could have been worse, as we have seen in some of our North African countries recently. And when we sing and say, in quotes, "The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain," we should mean it. Let us recognize people who have done well, whether they are from our tribe or not, because they are from our group, Nigeria. Asari Dokubo talks emphatically on self-determination. I agree with him. Our communities and states should do more and then may get help from the federal government and not wait for the federal government to do it all for them. This will not be possible. People like Asari Dokubo are well-meaning Nigerians with strong views. All views from all Nigerians committed peacefully and constructively to a great Nigeria must be respected. It is by listening to people that we might get it right. Nigeria must, through dialogue and honest understanding, design a formula, that is, a constitution, that guides our path to high economic productivity and greatness. Therefore, what we need is strong communities, a strong private sector, and a government that understands all this. That means we need strong institutions across these dimensions. I'm Magnus Paco, and that's my view.